My theory, I call it the tragedy of Neil. Or Max. Dun dun dun. So Max is the boy that, and I have not committed the characters in this film, but the lead female that the protagonist is pretty much protecting. Max is her son. What if Max is Neil? What if Max grows up to be Neil? And I'll explain that. So at the end, Neil reveals to the protagonist that he recruited him in the protagonist's future, Neil's past. Neil then goes to complete the final mission, taking the bullet for the protagonist, which we see in the beginning. We then, which is that's the tragedy in Neil, is that he, in this cycle, in this, like, I think of it like Groundhog Day, except it's not a 24-hour period. It's like a few lifetimes that are just stuck on this constant loop, and it doesn't matter what any of these players do, it doesn't change anything. And Neil's purpose in this loop is to sacrifice himself for the protagonist, John David Washington, so he can go on to create Tenet and recruit Neil and protect Max. It's almost like a Terminator situation where somebody goes back in time, or somebody sends somebody from the future to protect themselves as a child. I feel like something like that's going on there. So, and at the end we see the protagonist watching over Max and his mom, which kind of, I feel like, why show that unless you're setting that up? And if you think about it, like Maximilian, Maximilien, he could change that name to Neil, drop the last part, or drop the first part, and invert the last part, and that's how you end up getting Neil. So that's where my mind is going with the whole thing. That eventually,
Man, he really did a number on you, didn't he?
he grows up. Maximilian grows up, changes his name to Neil. Eventually inverts on a mission to begin working back through time to the point where he takes the bullet for the protagonist, saving his life, like a cycle that keeps repeating. And that is the, I mean, that's like the perfect, it's like a time travel tragedy.
Okay.
That's the trailer.